Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of the Jackson Times podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rachel.
My name's Tina.
My name is Yehuda.
And today we're here with a very special guest, even though we say this every time. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kayvon. I'm in grade 12. I am on here, I guess, as a musician. I've been playing piano for 12 years, and I'm also I'm the vice president of music council. I'm not going to tell you guys my mom's credit card number. And if I had one day left to live, never mind. Anyway.
Okay. I mean, like, what, commit crime or like?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sounds wonderful. Lovely.
Okay, so we're probably releasing this at the time of right before Chamber Night. Are you doing any performances for that?
Yeah, I'm actually doing two. So the first one I was actually doing with Layla, my sister. I'm playing piano with her. She's singing a jazz standard called Misty. And then just to sort of kill time, me and a violinist, Sam, who's in grade 11.
Oh, Sam who?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Sam Talebi.
Oh,
We're
okay.
doing the other one. We're doing an arrangement of Reading's Violin Concerto for Viola. Yeah, not very
Okay, so you mentioned Misty right away. Why did you choose that piece, kind of?
Layla chose it. I'm her accompanist. She chose it. Well, it's actually her ISP for grade 11 vocals. So,
Oh, okay.
well, first of all, she just wanted to practice performing it. But that piece, I mean, she's not like trained or anything. She's never taken like formal vocal lessons. So that piece is very intimidating, but I think she wanted a challenge.
Because I know for a fact it's very
It's
vocally demanding.
very difficult. It's even for experienced vocalists, it's very hard. But she's doing okay. I think she's doing okay. And she's progressing very well.
My grandma likes that song.
It's pretty old. Yeah. My dad knew it. He never touched a musical instrument in his life.
Oh wait, so did your mom or did you just pick it up by yourself?
Well, my parents put me into it when I was 5. Back when we still lived in Houston. I was born in Houston, Texas. That's when my parents put me into it, and I've just sort of been like going through RCM, and I hated it for a pretty long time.
That's facts.
And then when sort of COVID started, that's sort of when I got really serious about it, and I started picking up repertoire really quickly. And then when the pandemic sort of lifted, I got into the actual music program here, and so I play piano for like more than half of the ensembles now, I think. And Miss Lee is going to be very sad when I graduate because, yeah.
Who do you see succeeding you?
She's training a grade 9 right now, who I have to start
Oh.
training. I have to start helping her train this freshman this semester to replace me. I have to start training my replacement.
Those are some big shoes to
I
fill.
have no idea.
Thank
Thank you. I hope so.
Yo.
I don't know her name. I don't know anything about her. I think she's in choir. I know one grade 9 in this entire school, and apparently she is her friend. So.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
You know, as someone like not very musically inclined, tell me about music.
Well, I don't think it's music is one of those things that like I've never met anyone who dislikes music. I've never like asked, "Oh, what kind of music do you like?" "Oh, I hate it. I hate music." Like music is like very universally like in any medium, in any sort of form. Everyone has music in their lives in some way or another. I think whether you're like a musician or whether you just sort of listen to K-pop or rap or whatever, it's something in everybody's lives, I think, and that's surprisingly few things are like music in that way. And I think that's very special.
Pleasant sounds.
Do you view like music in daily life differently than you did like before COVID or whatever?
Well, piano was a chore at best before COVID, and sort of when I started, I think the isolation that came with the pandemic and not going to school and whatnot really sort of like got me into it, I guess. I mean, it was like, 4 years ago, so I can't really attest to what I was thinking or what the sort of like snap was, but I think so, and I hope so. And that's you know.
I have a music-related question. Have you ever
That's what
done
we're here
like?
for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to like the professional music competitions?
I'm actually, oh my god, I'm doing a competition at the end of the month.
Oh.
Ooh.
All of the musicians who've ever like touched a musical instrument have heard of the Toronto Kiwanis Festival. So I'm doing that at the end of the month. I'm doing the recital block. So I'm playing 3 pieces, which is about a 30-minute program. And I'm slightly losing my mind because I'm not ready. But I'm not going to win or anything. It's just sort of practice for when I go for my ARCT in June. Which is,
What does your practice process look like?
it depends. I think that you'll have always like bad practice days and good practice days, and I have to like sort of remember that when I feel like crap after having practiced for an hour and on like one page and sort of not getting anywhere, which is literally exactly what happened yesterday. It doesn't reflect on me overall as a human being. But I think I always say like to younger musicians, even though sometimes I don't emulate this, that before you practice you have to come up with a plan. Like, what do I want to get done in this amount of time, however amount of time you want to allocate. You have to have a plan in place before. You can't just sort of like improvise, because then you won't actually, because you want to be able to observe your progress from day to day, I guess, or from whatever your schedule is. You want to be able to observe how much progress you're making and what your rate of progress is, and then you can extrapolate that data to what kind of repertoire you play and how you sort of pick what you take on in terms of should I lunge for this gigantic Rachmaninoff concerto, or should I take it back a little bit and learn some easy repertoire and sort of build up to it a little bit more.
So about the competition, like
Do you know?
No,
Like-
when she has that like grin, it's gonna be like a really messed up question.
no, it's not this messed up. Like, would you say it's possible to like hypothetically sabotage your opponents in music competition?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what if you like put a roach?
Oh, do you do that? No.
I haven't done that, but if I get like, if I play like crap and then my other fellow competitors are doing a little bit better than me, I might resort to, no, I'm kidding. Don't. Sportsmanship, whatever. It is possible to answer your question, yes.
So like, at the music competitions, do they like record? Is it like sports where like if they aren't sure who's better, they record you both,
No.
and they double check the recordings afterwards? Because like,
I think at this one they're not recording.
At like the really, really, really high levels, maybe. But like usually they just take a gigantic pause in between performances, and the judge is like writing down all their notes, whatever, right? And that's
It's
the
pretty
end.
intense. It is pretty intense. You like go up and you play whatever, and then you sort of sit and you listen to their pencils. That's a little.
That sounds
that's like
terrifying.
A unique, it's like a
You have to
unique
stay there?
kind of anxiety.
It depends on the venue as well, because like some are in
It's very
churches.
similar to waiting for like uni applications. Yeah, it's the pencil, and it's war flashbacks. Even when I'm like writing a test, I hear the pencils, and I get like
Oh, no.
I start seeing a little bit of red.
okay, that's very interesting.
Couldn't you just like turn the thermostat up like 3 degrees and like room in like all of like the strings instruments?
Oh my gosh! I think that for this one,
For this one,
for this competition, it's all ARCT students. So we're
No.
all preparing. I think I said this. We're all preparing a 30-minute program. I don't know how many people I'm going up against, or who the adjudicators are, or what the room looks like, or what piano I'm going to go on.
Do you have to sit live and listen to all of the other people?
Yes.
So you know how
Which
bad
I was
it is.
only just informed of on Monday.
Oh.
My teacher told me that we have to listen to all of our competitors. And, when I sort of have to like, take on like this pseudo god complex so that I don't get in my own head. I feel like I am better than all of these people, and it does not matter who they are. That's actually not like and I say that as a joke, but it's not actually a terrible mindset to take on, like that pseudo god complex. Because you know, the alternative is like getting in your own head and oh my god, I'm terrible. I should quit. You know, being confident in yourself as an artist is very important, I think.
Is it bad sportsmanship for you to like bring earplugs?
Absolutely.
I would. If I prepared like months for like a 30-minute program and then someone brought earplugs to my performance, I would actually like.
Okay, but like.
To answer the question from the beginning, if I had one more day to die, before I died, that's what I would do. I would enroll in a piano competition and put headphones in when everyone else is going. And then I would die the very next day. Yeah, that's what I would do.
You'd probably be giving them like victory because like it's like, oh yeah, I'm wishing death upon you, and then you actually do die.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I have to change that answer.
Okay. That's interesting.
Okay, so you do RCM.
Yes.
Q rank your top like lists, so like list A, B, C, D, E, like where 1 through 5.
They're all so like
You can put.
No one likes playing Bach, okay? Like, and everyone's like, oh my god, I hate Bach. Once you come into your own as a musician, you learn to respect him. As like a composer, like he's literally the Jesus of music. And if you listen to literally any other composer speak about, oh, who are your inspirations? Bach. Everyone wrote something based on something written by him. That doesn't mean necessarily that as a pianist you enjoy playing him. And I think that liking playing him comes with a lot of maturity as a musician. Because he's so difficult, but he's not difficult the way that other composers are difficult, so you can't really like play other things to prepare for him. So, Bach, that's list A, by the way. And then list B is classical sonatas. Those are just so much bigger. I think that like taking on like a little list piece is not a commitment the way that like a Mozart sonata is. I'm playing a Mozart sonata for my ARCT, and literally talk to Miss Lee. She'll tell you, don't play Mozart ever for any of the RCM exams. Word of advice for anyone doing RCM: if you can avoid Mozart, do it, because Mozart is so difficult, and it's like deceptively difficult because there's so little content in Mozart. But since there's so little content, it means every note has so much more depth. Because, like, you can't hide in Mozart. It makes you very naked, and that's what's hard about Bach as well in the same sort of way. I think that if I had to rank them, which is very unorthodox and pretty like blasphemous, I would say, I think D is my favorite. I like a lot of the stuff from D, like Rachmaninoff, Ravel. Those are my favorite composers.
Really like grandiose, like late.
Yeah.
Post.
Most of the like my favorite stuff that I've played is by Rachmaninoff. I think that, and I have gigantic hands. My hands can reach an 11th, so it comes pretty easy. My teacher can barely reach an octave, so she always gets really upset at me when I'm showing off. It's like, ugh, yeah, and yeah. So I think D. I like C a lot too, obviously, but everyone does. B, A, E, yeah.
E at the bottom. Okay.
No, wait. Yeah, E is at the bottom because like you have like Philip Glass. Like, anyway.
Where would you put etudes in the middle of that?
Oh yeah, F. List F. Etudes are sort of like separate because like there are etudes by like Czerny, which are like whatever, and then you have like the Rachmaninoff etudes that are like works of art. I'm playing a Rachmaninoff etude for my AR as well.
Got you.
What were we talking about?
Twofold.
Not only listening to classical like a loser.
Oh yeah, I'm not
First
a loser.
question. Lots of people have the wrong impression of classical. What do you say to the people who hate classical?
You haven't listened to it. I think that people who hate classical, they haven't listened to it. You know, I understand sometimes when you like put on some like random Haydn symphony or like, you know, like some like obscure like. There's some classical music that's bad. Do not ever listen to an opera by Vivaldi. He wrote 40 of them, and all of them are terrible. But people who don't listen to classical, who people think it's boring, I will say that like a lot of the stuff is long. I think the longest piece that I've played is like, I played like the full Beethoven sonatas are like 30 minutes. I've played what, 3, I think. Yeah, if you think classical music is boring, listen to it, and it will change your mind.
And the second is opinions on the current state of music, however you define that.
I think that classical music is back.
Oh.
I think that a lot more young people are into it, and I think that's maybe it's because we live in this like bubble of like privilege in Toronto, and people have that kind of luxury to just sort of like, oh, you know, music and art and, you know, whatever. I'm not going to get political, but you know, I think a lot more young people are into classical music now, and I think that's great. I really think that, you know, and I hate saying this because it makes me sound like conceited and odd, but you know, classical music is the birth of all of the music you all listen to, everyone listens to today. I think that as like, yeah, I think that classical music is back. Some like modern music, like, you know, whatever, pop, whatever people listen to now.
Who's your favorite non-classical artist then?
I like jazz a lot because I think it's like it's like a pretty, it's not a far cry from classical, but it's like a derivative, I like to say. I think a lot of people like Leve, and I think that I like her too, purely because I'm a human voice enthusiast. I listen to a lot of opera, and that's gonna make me sound like a real loser, but I'm very much a proud human voice enthusiast, and when I look for singers to like artists, my main priority is sound quality of their voice. I don't care about lyrics. I don't care about harmony. I don't care about how the song sounds. I care about the sound of your voice.
That's wholesome.
No, but that also goes like the opposite way, because if your voice doesn't like fit whatever it is, like I hate you.
Yep. I don't like. There are a lot of like. I don't know.
What about like auto-tune? Do you like?
I don't think autotune is bad. I think it's like a tool. I think you have to use it as a tool, not as a crutch.
Yeah, like NBA Youngboy. Have you ever heard him without the autotune? It's so funny.
Like those like things on Instagram where you have like the men singing in like parking lots or like, yeah, you know the underground parking.
Is that like a
Like
trend?
a party-
I only know about
Rings.
the saxophone player in like the parking lots.
Like they're like, you know, the Instagram reels and the TikToks of like men singing like parking structures, and like all of them are auto-tuned, and that's a crutch. I think that if autotune is used as a tool, like I don't think even the way that like Travis Scott uses it, I don't think that's necessarily bad, because he uses it as like a quality that gives the character of the song what it is.
It enhances the song as like he's obviously not going for a vocal performance in his songs.
He's not trying to correct his pitch. He's going for a certain quality. Yeah.
It's everything but his voice that's important in the song, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is why I don't like him.
Sorry,
Okay.
I just got wild text, my bad.
As a pianist, how important is the length of your fingers?
I think that overall, I think that people with small hands do have advantages. I think that people who play Mozart are a lot better when they have smaller hands. They're a lot better equipped to play Mozart. Mozart is my least favorite composer to play. I think he is the bane of my existence, and it's very difficult. I think I mentioned this already at the beginning of this recording. Don't play Mozart for any of your exams because he's so difficult. Yeah, overall, having bigger hands is much more beneficial.
It's useful.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow-up question. Would you be willing to lose 2 inches of your height and move them to your fingers?
You know how weird that
I'm
is?
pretty good. I'm actually pretty good here. Let's see. I don't know anyone with bigger hands than me. I think I've got it pretty good. I can reach an 11th. I'm sure you can reach a 10th.
Yeah.
I can reach an 11th, which is actually I've actually had to in one of the Scriabin pieces that I played for like last year. I had to play an 11th, and it wasn't rolled. It was a solid chord.
And how tall are you again?
I'm 6'1".
Oh no, like,
So-
that's under the 6 foot.
I don't even think that like it would overall like I don't think there would be that much benefit because I wouldn't be that much shorter, but I also like my hands are pretty. I think I'm pretty good on hand size. Yeah.
Would you take that offer?
Okay, so the way I'm thinking in it, if I were a pianist, I think if I had really long fingers to play piano with, I think that would be interesting because then I could be like standing like a meter away.
That's not how it works.
I think it also kind of looks freaky at some point because then you have like the you're like 4'11". You have like these gigantic hands.
It might
That's
be
kind of
good for
odd
like
too, you know what I'm
volleyball or
saying?
something. Where you
You're
just,
going to
Volleyball,
break your
swimming.
fingers.
Right.
Like, okay, but like if my palm was also really
You just have your proportions.
okay, are you lengthening the fingers or the palm as well, or like proportionally?
I'd say like for every inch of the finger, like half an inch of palm.
Okay, so it's proportional.
So it's like some proportion.
At the same time, top 3 composers and top 3 modern artists.
Modern artists and composers. Top 3 composers were Val Rachmaninoff, and I also really like Prokofiev, and a lot of people don't, because his stuff is so like ugly. But you know, I like to be like unique. No, I'm kidding. I do really like Prokofiev though. Modern artists. I know I said I listen to I still listen to modern music, but that's like a total lie. I do like Leve a lot. I also like. Have you guys heard of Wave to Earth?
Yes.
I love Wave to Earth. They're so cute.
They're
I
like,
love them so much.
Japanese pop band.
Every single
I
one
should
of
get
their
into it.
songs is the exact same. And so I just put their This Is Wave to Earth Spotify playlist on like shuffle, and I don't know any of the names of the songs because they're literally all the same. And so yeah,
I have problems listening to their albums because I get bored. I can't like tell them apart, the songs apart from
they're
each other.
all the same.
So
They're
it's
all
like
the
just like
same.
noise, pleasant noise in the background.
Yeah,
Very pleasant noise.
Oh,
it's pleasant though. It's really nice.
maybe I'll get into it.
And what's the other one? This is like an odd. I listened to SZA's new album when it came out. What was it, a year ago?
SOS.
And I really like that. So I'm gonna put her at like number 3 because I don't know anymore.
SZA, Wave to Earth, and Levy is
Very odd.
very odd.
Because I don't listen to modern music. So this is it.
The common thing is that they're all snubbed by the Grammys at the same time.
Real. That's actually real. Oh my god.
No shade, but how did Taylor Swift win the album of the year? There's so many better options.
It wasn't that good. Even for like, okay, Taylor Swift. I don't enjoy when people are like blindly hating her because like it's just like a bandwagon
she's
that
a
people
woman.
jump on, and because she's a woman. I also don't like her fans who blindly follow her, and they're like, oh, you know, all of these celebrities contribute to climate change. No. She contributes to climate change. Like what country? I saw this thing. I don't remember what country it was, but she contributed more
Than the
carbon
country.
emissions than that entire country with her plane in like last year.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah. So like that is also very odd. I don't think her music is like bad. It's not my favorite. I think her voice is nice. I think her lyrics are nice, but you know, I'm not out here listening to her in my spare time because you guys know what I listen to. That's why we're here.
I think the big problem I have with the Kanye versus Taylor Swift war is because neither listen to the other person's music. So it's all about the Taylor Swift thing. Oh no, he's just talking about like drugs and gays.
I think that the Kanye Taylor Swift thing is very funny.
it's very funny.
I like look at stuff about like Kanye fans snubbing Taylor and I laugh. I can't lie. I think it's very funny.
And then on the opposite side of the spectrum is Kanye fans saying, "Oh yeah, she just makes music about her ex-boyfriends," which I don't know if it's accurate or not accurate. I listen to Kanye. I don't listen to Taylor Swift.
Everyone makes music about
Their
composers
exes. Yeah.
make music about their exes. Like,
They just don't say it.
They just don't mention it.
Yeah.
It's about their ex, but you don't know.
yeah.
Did you guys see about how Taylor Swift got the Harvard course?
Yes.
That's one of our.
I think that's
It's one of our articles.
So funny. Oh yeah, I actually did see that.
Good for
I
you.
saw that. Yeah, I looked at your page. I think that's so funny. I think that's very funny. And I will
like,
not
what
elaborate
way?
on that.
In like what way?
No. Why? Why?
If you were to give any,
I mean, like, I guess like you can compare her lyrics to poetry, and you can study her lyrics in the same way that you study poetry.
I feel like comparing her to
looking for
Shakespeare doesn't
symbolism.
sound right.
it's a hard thing because like I've seen her like I don't know what
That's the
statistic it was.
closest thing I can think of to the rationale for creating a course on her music. Like you wouldn't. I mean, her lyrics are very poetic, so I guess if you compare them to poetry, you could look for symbolism. I don't know.
Even for poetry, because like it's I think classical has way too many similarities to rap in that
Oh.
it's misunderstood, right?
Okay.
So that like rap, I'm not talking about Travis Scott, I'm talking about like Black Thought, who's like a conscious, like stream of consciousness rapper, right? He's more poet than rapper in that aspect, like rhythm and poetry type of thing, right? Where if you don't listen to things past for release, you're not going to get into classical,
Right.
and if you don't listen to things past to Astroworld, you're not going to get into rap. And
I like that comparison a lot, actually. I do like that comparison.
And
I
in,
agree.
in that aspect, I've seen Taylor Swift rhyme like about her getting drunk in like the back of a bar or something way too many times. for it to
Yeah,
be
bar and
poetry.
car is
Bar
a very
and car.
Oh, yeah.
is a very frequent rhyme that she makes.
I feel like I'm guilty of like both of your things,
But yeah,
like,
that's the only thing that I can think of that like can rationalize creating a course out of her music.
What
Just,
would
like-
you rather see a course on?
Well, I would say music history, but that stuff already exists
Yeah.
because it's amazing.
Specific artist or composer.
You could create an entire course out of Mahler's symphonies or
Elaborate.
Beethoven, because there's so much content and there's so much significance in like history and like I don't listen to enough Mahler. I think that, but from what I know of him, he could replace Taylor Swift in how much material there is to study. You could create a semester out of that. Yeah.
What do you think the motivation for giving Taylor Swift a course was?
clout.
No idea.
That's true.
But
That
you're
is-
Harvard, you don't need clout.
That is
No, but
something
like
that
Harvard
I
is
cannot
like
speak
I guess
to.
maybe Harvard has like a reputation for being kind of like old school now, so they need to be like look at us, we're so hip and modern.
That's their prestige though.
Look at us,
That's
we're so hip
true.
and modern. We need a bigger demographic to draw from.
Are you saying that
think
we
they
need to make a
don't.
podcast about Taylor Swift?
Maybe someone just thought it was funny.
That's true. That too.
I would do something like that if I thought it would be funny. I can't lie.
If I had no other elective, I might take that course just for just because like
I would not.
what is it, you know?
Who was the guy that Taylor Swift had problems with?
Kanye.
We should make a course on that to retaliate.
Oh yeah. Oh,
There
we should make a course on the conflict
I feel like that'd be like
from
a chapter
2009 to present. How has the no?
no, actually as a cultural
They
like
should have like a chapter in there, like a chapter in like the Taylor course of like
Do you
beef
think
with
there
Kanye.
is?
Oh, do you think there is?
Do you think there's like a media bias in that?
There could. This requires us to
Taylor
turn.
Swift course curriculum.
Oh my gosh.
This course is divided into this many strands. Do you think there's like a final exam?
The Taylor exam?
Oh, they leaked the full syllabus
The syllabus. Oh my gosh.
by Professor Stephanie Burt, a diehard Swiftie
No way.
herself. Students who take the course will earn extra credit for their deep lives into Swift's lyrics, music, and influence, dissecting her catalog and reading a host of authors Burt finds relevant to understanding Taylor Swift's artistry. That meant a whole lot of nothing.
Okay.
Taylor Swift's artistry. Okay.
Hmm.
Do you think that people might get confused with like, oh, I'm taking Taylor? Do you think people might get confused with like, oh, you're taking like calculus? Like, is that a calculus thing? No.
I take the
Taylor
Swift course.
Swift. Taylor Swift.
Oh, from what I'm reading here, it's a lot of like culture instead of the music itself. So
that
like,
makes even less sense. So now,
So it's just a pop culture course.
so like Southern text, transatlantic text, and queer text, adolescence, adulthood, and appropriation.
so it's more like a
etc.
social science course.
Yes.
Taylor Swift social science
I would
course.
not. You could. No, you could pay me to take that course, but I wouldn't do it for free.
How much would you be paid for that?
I mean, how much does the course cost?
Is there a textbook?
Is there
It better not be.
There's not. textbook.
Taylor Swift textbook?
Imagine.
Just buy her finals.
I feel like the Taylor Swift textbook, like her fans would buy that unironically.
Yeah, I
Like
feel
a biography.
That's a textbook.
No,
They
like
call it a
kind of like that, you know?
No, that would sell out. Like the students wouldn't have
They wouldn't have.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have the course material because all the Swifties would buy it.
right. The ones who didn't get into Harvard.
So most of them.
Yep.
As a percentage point, how many Harvard students do you think are Swifties?
Who are you asking that to?
I don't know. Like it's just open question.
I think anyone could be a Swiftie.
Yeah.
It could be
They
anyone.
like
I don't think
hide.
that her music is like. I don't think her music is like dislikable. I think that everyone can find something in Taylor
Like
Swift.
Swiftie in the sense of like they're a diehard fan or like they listen to her music.
They actively listen to her music.
I'm gonna be safe and say like 10.
10% is.
Is that a lot?
I mean, compared to the general population, how much is the general population?
If you get into Harvard, will you take the Swiftie course for us?
I think the admissions are well over.
Would
for
you
American
take an admission to
universities.
Harvard on the condition that you would have to take the Swiftie course?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I would not.
I mean,
Really?
like no, like just the actually no,
What
like
do
for
you
Harvard.
get? I mean, you don't earn your place at that point, in my opinion. But like, you know, it's still Harvard. So
I mean, like if I said like I got into Harvard, like people like I'm not in like a social position where people would think like, oh, you bribed your way in,
that's true.
right? So
That's
like
true.
I could just like get free
I
clout.
guess that's true. It's not like we're like any of us are like legacy or anything. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
also
yeah.
true.
Yeah. So like
How many people do you know that are legacy? I've never met a person who's a legacy. In a
A lot of my
Ivy League.
well, my cousins, because I used to live in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
My cousins are all still there. None of them went to any of those schools, but like one of my cousins goes to Stanford. One of my other ones goes to NYU. One
Big
of them's
names.
applying to Northwestern because
Ooh.
she's our year. None of them are legacy, so
I have like family friends. I think their dad works at U of T, so if they get into U of T, they get free admission. I think for like or like they're
Free.
what?
I forget if it's free or if it's like really really cheap. It's one of the two.
Like they don't have to pay as much tuition.
Yeah.
Damn.
You'd think that it was like the residence that's like low.
I don't know.
Is it like employee?
I guess like most
I
U of T
don't
students
know.
like are homeless because like, there's no like
It is U of T.
yeah.
But I forget. It's something along those lines. So like they're like when I ask them like are they applying to anything? It's like no, just U of T.
I like how we've like totally shifted away from music.
No, we usually do that. That's just the nature of conversation.
no.
Oh yeah, that actually brings me like going into post secondary. What's in store?
I haven't decided what I want to do for post secondary. If I had it my way, I would go to music school. But obviously, music is not, especially classical music, is not like a viable career option unless you started like
When you're 5.
You made your debut with the New York Phil at Carnegie Hall when you were 8 years old with Rachmaninoff's Third. You're not going into music. So unless I mean the only really viable option for going into music is becoming a teacher. And I do that right now. So I don't really need to do that for the rest of my life. If any listeners are interested in piano, getting piano lessons, contact AOJ Music.
Not you specifically.
Yeah. Contact AOJ Music. No, seriously, I need money. No,
Oh.
I do like teaching. So if anyone is interested.
Heard of the brown note?
The brown note?
The brown note.
Is it like the one, is it like the frequency
Brown
that
noise?
like, what is that?
No,
The
it's-
frequency that makes you.
That makes you poop?
Yeah.
Or something? I've heard
Is that
of
what
it.
it
I've
is?
heard of it. I've heard of it. I don't know
Uh-huh.
anything about it, but beyond that it's called the brown note or what it is or why.
Yeah, me neither.
There's
Okay,
no follow up for that? Okay,
So
no.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of all like the music that makes you poop.
There's a brown note endurance contest. What?
That's wild.
Don't play.
I would rather no, thank you.
Different layers.
Not for that.
Before or
Academic
after
brown noise.
headphones in.
What do you
Oh,
mean
yeah, no.
academic brown noise?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's
I
yeah.
don't think I know enough about this to
No,
like.
there's like
comment on
every
it.
other video is like a spiritual like, oh, this will blah blah
realign
blah.
your chakras.
Something like that.
In
And
the
the other
bowels?
one is like 12-hour poop noises. Like
Is this what all of the episodes are like?
Okay.
just ask Tina.
This is not my fault. This is because my brother like sometimes will just play.
You guys
part sounds.
you guys interviewed Adora too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, I can imagine what that
She
was
kept
like.
on asking like you throw.
Tina.
Great.
question.
Me?
It was the mutation question where it was like, oh, if you're stuck
Oh, do you
on
want to hear the
Oh, with
question?
swimming? With the swim? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I told him
Oh.
about it. Sorry.
And the second one was like, if you and your brother were stuck on an island together and you turn magically.
Would you
into a fish.
cannibalize him? Yeah, I'm familiar with
Oh,
that.
I asked my brother that question and he said yes with no hesitation.
I
Maybe
would
you
not
should ask him.
cannibalize my sister. I think I would die
Maybe I
of
would
like
ask.
rabies or something.
Mm.
She has rabies. She's actually waiting for me right now.
Oh.
You can make her wait.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
care. I told her, so she expects it. I don't care.
I cannibalize my brother. Probably not. He's more useful alive.
Well, we're talking about cannibalism now.
Would you cannibalize to get like god level piano
Nope.
talent?
Too many
I
crayons, man.
Okay, but what if it was
Maybe,
only a
no.
finger?
Like what are we
Oh,
talking
if it
like?
was only
Like
finger.
How
not a
ironic would that be?
whole ball.
You eat a human finger.
How
That sounds-
ironic is that? Eat a finger to get god piano skills.
Not
this
not
is
just
like an
piano.
anime
Okay.
plot.
God like musician skills. Like you're
You can play
instantly
any
tuned in. You hear whatever it is, right? And just a finger. Just a finger.
We're on the record, so no. No, I'm kidding. No. For the sake of grace, I'm gonna say no. No, I wouldn't. This is an audio recording.
I would.
You would and you're not even like.
No, cause like, I mean, it's,
Would you eat a finger to get into Harvard?
What? Okay. What would you
if
need?
nobody knows that you're
Right.
What would you need in return to eat a finger?
honestly not much.
Not much is wild.
Cause like no, cause it's just like the novelty of it, and like also
The
like if
novelty.
nobody needs to know, you know.
Okay.
Like, aren't you
Are you
curious
afraid about the embarrassment?
I don't really
There's
like
like a
meat.
psychological aspect
of it? A thing
of eating human flesh. You would go insane.
Isn't
It's
that
like
only the
yeah, it's a whole
brain?
thing. Yeah. No,
bad
it's like a whole thing.
calories?
No, it's a whole thing.
like the psychology of it, not just prions.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm already insane. Have I considered that?
Yeah, you need to consider that more. Maybe you're
you
the
eaten
reason why our
people?
podcast is not
No, not that I know of.
Not that you know
Not
of.
that I know
my
of.
bad.
'Cause,
We're in
like-
Hannibal right now.
No, because like nobody knows. Okay,
Well,
like
if you chew on your
I shouldn't have
fingernails
brought
enough,
up the cannibal.
does that make you a cannibal?
I don't chew my fingernails, but
Maybe I
like
shouldn't have brought up the
no, because like
cannibalism thing.
hypothetically, like in the ground meat that you buy at the supermarket, if someone put like a leg in there, like could you tell?
Okay, well, like, to what extent
Probably.
is
The
cannibalism
flavor is
cannibalism? Like, what if you took a
No,
bunch
but,
of
like,
human
no, 'cause
blood
you-
and made blood
allegedly-
sausages from it?
You are.
Okay, you're on a different level. But like allegedly, human meat is very similar to that of pork. So theoretically, you couldn't tell.
Do you need something? Do you have something to tell us?
Why
How do
do
you know
you-
that? How do you know that?
Studies?
So,
Study? What kind of
What
studies
have
are you
you been
reading in your
studying?
free time?
which scientists are eating people and making that determination?
It's most people interviewing
That's
cannibals,
my kind of
actually.
study
Most
group.
people interview.
No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm not a kid. I don't eat human people.
But
You
it's
guys aren't in danger right now.
like, what point is it not like if you chew on your fingernails, is that cannibalism? If you accidentally eat some of your hair, is that
No,
cannibalism?
no.
Like,
No, like okay, if you gave someone like an aggressive hickey, is that cannibalism? Because now you consume their blood.
That's
what?
I'm not
How
gonna-
aggressive are we talking?
No,
No,
not enough DNA in blood, in my opinion.
no, no.
So like,
no.
what if you took a lot of blood and it like coagulated and you made it like a blood sausage?
I think that's cannibalism.
I think you already said that and we ignored it on purpose.
I did already say that. Okay, so that's cannibalism.
Definitely cannibalism.
Definitely cannibalism.
Well, no, when you're giving hickeys, you're not actually ingesting flesh.
Okay, so it has to be flesh.
So if you eat some
Yeah.
fingers spit it out afterwards, it's not cannibalism.
No.
Okay.
So
It's
that's-
like if you
But-
use like human flesh as gum, it's not cannibalism.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Did you know they used to like take people's like people who like were hung? They would like take their leather and like they would like tan it and like turn it into like
I'm
talismans
gonna have
and
a
people would
very
just like
fun
carry them.
conversation with you, Al, after this is
Love
over.
this.
Our brother.
I had such a silly conversation with your brother today. I
I
want
think
to
it's
hear
half
all
the.
about
I
it.
think it's both of our faults. You know.
That being said,
Ooh.
116 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
people
How
want
does
to
pretty
get
crazy.
into
how, how does our outro go again?
Ooh, 50 seconds to promote anything you want. Go.
Please join Music Council. Please join choir. Oh my god, especially if you're a man. The AYJ music program is very strong, so if you're a musician, please take advantage of it. We don't have, like, other schools don't have a music program like ours. What else?
Your piano.
Yes, if you are interested in learning piano from me, please DM me or AYJ Music, and I will get back to you.
Cool.
That's it. That's all I want to promote.
Okay. How does our outro go again?
You can make up a new one.
Oh, okay, sure. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Jackson Times podcast. If you,
Very tame.
Yeah,
compared
very-
to what we've been.
oh yeah. If you want to send us a message, leave us a comment, shoot us a like. Tina will read and memorize every single comment.
Follow AYJ Music. That's the other thing. Yeah, follow AYJ Music. I'm assuming all of you follow AYJ Music, except for Rachel, because she has like the skinniest ratio I've ever seen in my life.
What is the ratio?
Follow AYJ Music.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.